I live with Bentley the dog. This is my fourth attempt at doing this video because every time I just about finish this stellar work of art, the dog barks and messes up what I'm saying, distracts me. He's thinking about barking even at this moment. I was listening to a talk show the other day and the chief of police from Portland was on. Oh, I wanted to call in so bad. They never gave the phone number. How can you call a talk show if they do not give you the telephone number? I am psychic. And dial the number. I can't do that. I need to be told the number. I had a question I wanted to ask, and I wish I had a producer and they could research this for me. Anybody out there that's really a whiz, and I know some of you young people are whizzes on the internet, I would love to know the statistics of how many unarmed people have been shot by the Portland Police Department. They just shot a young man whose brother had died in the morning, and he was depressed and despondent. And the family, gotta say, weren't acting with all gears meshing, called the police because the young man was out of control. And, of course, the police came and killed the young man. And, as always happens, they said, well, he was justified in doing it. I'm not sure. The guy's hands were behind his back, and he was walking backwards towards the police department when one of the officers lost control and killed him. What about tasers? Well, Portland police believe in using a 9mm first and then tasing him. I'd sure like to have those statistics. I give you my word. I'm going to keep mentioning when the Portland police kill an unarmed person. You can count on that. But I'd sure love to have the statistics on how many people have been shot. When you ask them, they act, well, baseball has been good to me. Like they don't know. Other random thoughts today. This don't ask and don't tell thing. What is with the gay people? Why would they want to get in the military? I don't understand. See, if the military were fighting so you would have your rights, it might make sense to go and get yourself murdered in some senseless and meaningless war, gay people. But these people in this country don't give you your rights. I mean, you can't get married. You're worse than a murder if something goes wrong with you and your sexual activities. You're thought of as going to hell by a good percentage of the right-wing fanatic religious community. And you want to go to war to protect those rights that you don't have? I don't know. I don't mean to be brash. I just don't understand it. There's a draft coming. It has to if we keep killing people and waging wars. I think the last thing you'd want to do is get involved in the military. You ought to be thrilled that you don't have to involve yourself with the military. I mean, if you have your rights, as every other citizen in this country has, it might make a little sense. But I think you're foolish if you go in the military to protect the rights that you don't have. Having to live a life without a meaningful companion is just a bad way to live your life. I've become addicted. It's finally happened. Addicted to Flight Simulator, I am. I went 3 days. 3 days without sleeping, without eating. I almost died. Flight Simulator almost killed me. Yeah, that's a bit of an exaggeration. I think I fell asleep several times in the chair. Hands still on the computer. But I have to say, to all those young people who I've criticized for having games on their computers, for all the dear young people that I raised, that I would not allow to put games on my computer because I knew the minute a game came into the computer, along would come viruses, you'd start drinking and your whole life would go to hell in a handbasket. I must say I'm sorry. I could never get an instrument rating when I actually flew. It always bothered me, because in the Pacific Northwest, if you want to fly an airplane, you have to learn to do it with instruments, because there's always clouds. Even while I'm doing this video, clouds keep coming by, causing the video to all screw up, because it changes all the lighting. But with Flight Simulator, I'm going to get an instrument rating in Flight Simulator. Yeah. So, the other thing I couldn't do is I could never fly that Mooney airplane too fast. Could fly a Viking Belenka, but not as fast as the Mooney. I mean, there's a lot of big fancy airplanes that can't outfly the Mooney. I have learned to fly that now, to where I'm quite confident. I think it only took me 5 airplanes to learn it. Hey, when you don't have an instructor, you just crash, and then you figure out what went wrong. Well, the most profound thing, for the sake of brevity and the need of a next video, I'm not going to put on here. I'm going to give it some more thought before I discuss it with you openly. So the next video may be a real winner. I've been doing a lot of thinking. I'm about to turn 67 years old. Everybody I know is dead at 67, and I'm still here. So I've been kind of looking back on my life, thinking about things. That's what the next video may be about. I'd do it today, but this video would go for 20 minutes, and you wouldn't watch it. So that comes up next time. Oh, I saw a fantastic movie. It inspired me. It's called Saint Ralph. If you like movies that give you inspiration and hope, check that one out. It's on Netflix, has it. I'm so impressed you can just download a movie. Boom, it's so neat. But that's one you should see if you want to be inspired. If you will excuse me.